Greetings, my friends. Welcome to a quick video. We're talking about pre-orders today. They are happening this Saturday for a bunch of the new Blood Angels, but unfortunately there is some things missing. So if you've been living under a rock, you wouldn't know that there's been a lot of Blood Angels releases recently, and today we're just going to talk about quickly what is coming for pre-order this Saturday. So we're going to start with the Codex. Some of you already have the Codex that came with the limited edition box. I have it right here. We've had so many questions on the channel actually, if these new Codexes are any different from the one inside the box. No, they're the exact same Codex. The only difference is the cover that you have in the limited edition one is a little bit nicer, but it does look like they've got a limited, I believe this is a collector's only variant with 2,000 copies with Mephisto on the cover, but every single page inside the book is identical. These books will have essentially the wrong points, the same wrong points that we have in the book that we got a few weeks ago with the Death Company box, but there is no difference within the codexes. You don't need to buy this again. So, the Blood Angels are amongst the most renowned and respected Space Marines in the Imperium. With endless parade of glorious victories won across the length and breadth of the galaxy, now they're back, and they are better than ever in new Codex Supplement Blood Angels. I don't know if we're better than ever, having lost 1 million Infernal Pistols and Power Fists, but we are back. The book is packed with lore, glorious miniature galleries, and rules for the 3 detachments. We'll come back to talk about the detachments in another video. 18 exclusive units, Sanguinary Guard, Ball Predators, Astrath, Lamartes, Commander Dante. Okay, so this is like the 9th edition Codex cover, I believe, and this is from the 8th edition Psychic Awakening cover. I do like this limited edition one. When we talked about the Fear of Missing Out box, my problem with these limited edition books are they're only going to last for a year. You also need to transport them to every game you go to, so you throw them in a backpack. It's impossible to keep to take perfect care of these books, I find like. So unless you're desperate for the limited edition, I feel like the regular Codex is just fine. This Codex supplement will be available in its regular hardback, and as a suitably ornate special edition for Honoured Scions of Baal. If you want the special edition, you need to be there on pre-order morning. Bang it. Pre-orders literally start at 10 o'clock. Usually the website gets updated at like 5 minutes to 10. So you need to be on the Games Workshop website 5 minutes to 10, ready to buy, ready to, make an account, put your credit card in, be ready to go. Resellers will not have the limited edition book. That's usually how it works. So if you want this book, you have to order from Games Workshop Direct. For anyone that did not buy the big Death Company box from a few weeks back, now it's your chance to get the new Astaroth. I have him right here. I must admit he is, I need to paint mine, but he is a very nice model. He's suitably large compared to what he was before his firstborn. The new characters, the Primaris characters, are very nice sculpts. So Astaroth is the High Chaplain of the Blood Angels, and while he fulfills all his normal duties of his station, safeguarding his brothers' faith and guiding the chapter along the path of righteousness, he is a darker role, sending those gripped by the Black Rage to an honourable rest should they survive. On the battlefield, he strikes from the skies, with massive two-handed axe, lopping heads from shoulders with ease, born from extensive experience. There is a book, Astrath the Grim. It came out maybe like 2 years ago. I have a link in my video descriptions to Audible, so you can get a free copy of it if you haven't had a free book from Audible before. And the Astrath book is pretty cool. It's basically he's on a planet that's near like a warp storm. Because of the warp storm, lots of people are falling to the Black Rage. He needs to go deal with them. And it's probably the last book that he was a firstborn, right? Because he is Primaris now. He has obviously undergone the Rubicon, and they didn't mention that, but he is bigger, and it would make total sense. Because, yeah, read the book. It's good. It's a good book. I really enjoyed the Astaroth book. We've also got Lamartes. He has also become bigger, but we're not really sure if he's gone under the Rubicon. So when Astrax's ass came to rest on Lamartes' neck, the chaplain did something no other victim of the Black Rage ever had. He begged for his life, that he may continue to serve as chaplain and the Emperor. His remarkable lucidity, even in the throes of a Black Rage, made Lamartas the perfect figure to lead the Death Company in battle, where you can direct their blood-crazed fury into something that almost resembles a battle plan and ensures their lives are spent as best as possible. So, we did a video a few weeks ago. Lamartas is still a very good leader for the Death Company, arguably still possibly the best leader for Death Company. I really like his new sculpt. This is actually the third version of Lamartas. He's also going to be available if you didn't pick up the box. So you can get him now. And I've seen a lot of people doing top paint jobs for him online. We also have the Sanguinary. Not even the Blood Angels' oldest librarians know the mysterious golden avenger known as the Sanguinary truly is. Well, he is a warp entity. And this angelic champion appears without warning to deliver the sons of Sanguinius from their most desperate battles. He appears in the battlefield, swooping headlong into the melee, where enemy champions and leaders are swiftly cut down with whirling strokes of his massive Incarnate sword. It doesn't really make too much sense that he is Primaris scale now, but I guess they're just scaling everything up to be uniform. The new model looks nice. There's questions about his face. A lot of people thought his face looked a bit weird in this photo. I have seen some photos of him from other angles. He does look a little bit better. This face almost says Thanos to me. I don't know. We got the Blood Angels captain, who is going to be able to be in 3 variants. He can take the Infernal Pistol, he's on foot, he can take a Power Fist, he can take a sword, I believe he can take a Heavy Bolt Pistol. So I think the way you're going to want to play him probably for Blood Angels is Infernal Pistol and Power Fist, but some people are going to do Infernal Pistol and Chainsword. This is actually a master-crafted Chainsword. I think the Power Fist is just probably going to be the better option overall, just because when you give up, once you've used your once per game ability with the sword, I feel like then you're better off having a Strength 10 Power Fist over having a Strength 6 sword on the charge, I guess. So it's Strength 10 on the charge, AP 2, 1 less attack, or Strength 6 on the charge, AP 1 with 1 more attack. I feel like most of the time, if I'm going to be making a captain, I feel like I'm unlikely to make one with a chainsword. Power Fist seems to be the way to go. I actually like this helmeted head. I think it's very cool. So this guy is going to have a very cool head. I like the blood drop. I like the wreath. It reminds me a lot of the Firstborn heads. So Captain of the Blood Angels takes the battlefield in ornate suits of power armor, carved into beatific figures, benefiting the sons of the Great Angel. They're exceptional commanders and skilled fighters. Both with this new multi-part miniature comes an option to equip them with 2 pistols. I mean, you can only have 1 pistol on at a time, but you can equip with either pistol, 3 different melee weapons, and a choice of heads. They do have like a Sanguinary Guard type head here, and arguably this Sanguinary Guard type head looks better than the Sanguinary Priests, looks better than the Sanguinary Guard heads we're going to get to in a minute. So if you are going to get the captain, it maybe gives you an option to give like essentially the Sergeant of the Sanguinary Guard a better looking headpiece. This miniature can be used to represent both the Blood Angels captain and the Death Company captain, found in Codex Supplement Blood Angels. What's interesting in that is he can replace... You can have a Death Company captain with a jump pack. And I am about to, as soon as I film this video, I'm about to start working on the deep dive into the Death Company detachment, because I haven't done that video yet. That's the 3rd video I need to do on the new detachments. And I guess you could use all these Blood Angels bits on him and then try and find a jump pack for him from somewhere else to make him into a Death Company jump captain. We've got the Sanguinary Priest. As it stands, he is 90 points now, and he lost his jump pack, and he only has 1 unit he can really attach to, which is Assault Intercessors. Some people have been trying to make him work with other units like Stern Guard, but realistically, that's something I'll dive into in the coming weeks. But for the moment, the Sanguinary Priest has lost all his mobility, and as such, I guess like it's an indirect nerf to Vanguard veterans and Jump Assault Marines, right? Because Jump Assault Intercessors and Vanguard veterans with the Sanguinary Priest were very good. Now you can't field either of them with the Sanguinary Priest. So it's a bit of a weird change here, him losing his jump pack. Sanguinary Priests are apothecaries with a second duty. Tend to those warriors feeling the grip of the red thirst on the eve of battle. Far from suppressing this violent urge, they seek them to stroke it and direct them towards the enemies, where the genetic fury of the Blood Angels can be put to good use. So I mean, like, within the lore, giving them extra AP, making them a bit more durable or survivable is pretty cool. But at 90 points, I cannot I don't know if maybe the Sanguinary Priest with the jump pack before was too good, but I mean, I wasn't even running him. I didn't even think he was that great. So I guess we're going to see less Sanguinary Priests. While he can't have a jump pack, and while he can only attach to Assault Intercessors, and I really don't feel like attaching a Sanguinary Priest to a 5-man unit, so I'm going to save my $25 here. I'm not going to buy this Sanguinary Priest. We then go to the Sanguinary Guard. Now, we know that Games Workshop got a ton of feedback on these Sanguinary Guard, that people didn't like them, the fact that they had no wings, the fact that their helmets looked very Stormcast, but it looks like this, they're coming as they're coming, I guess. So, the Sanguinary Guard are the elite bodyguards of the chapter's mightiest heroes, clad in the masterwork armor and armed with gleaming relic weapons. Their jump pack assault are the stuff of legends, and they live up to the reputation of the Angels of Death. If you are going to be building these models, please, please, please watch the video I made last week before you arm them. In 99% of cases, the swords are going to be the most damaging unit. The most damaging weapon option, rather. So if you are in two minds about how you build these guys, you either want to you literally want to be building them with swords every single time. I kind of hate it when they put two weapon options and one is just vastly superior. I think in some of the other cases, like if you look at Astaroth versus Lamartes, those two models are balanced really competitively now. There's 5 points between them. I think they both give great buffs. I think if you want to run 10 Death Company with Astaroth, you can. If you want to run 10 with Lamartes, you can. I don't think either option is the correct option. I think they're both good. With the Sanguinary Guard, it's a bit the opposite. The swords are just well ahead. So the multi-part kit builds 3 Sanguinary Guard. We can arm them with blades or spears. I guess they're calling the swords blades now. With the option to carry a single banner and 1 Infernal Pistol. So even if you run them in a squad of 6, unfortunately you can only have 1 Infernal Pistol. That's just the way it is now. Their Angelus Bolters also took a nerf. They have no AP on their Angelus Bolters now, which is a little bit sad. So, Sanguinary Guard are going to be an interesting unit. Led by Dante, they're still pretty good units, but these guys definitely are screaming out for some conversion work. Even if you have any of the old Sanguinary Guard kits, or if you see any of the old Sanguinary Guard kits in your local hobby store, I mean, the old shoulder pads, the old helmets, they're basically better, I would say, than the new ones. And if you're not familiar with Primaris models actually share shoulder pads and helmets with Firstborn. So even though the Firstborn or the Primaris models are bigger, you can put Firstborn helmets on them, and they look totally fine. They're the right size. So I guess my point is, if you've got any of those old Sanguinary Guard kits, or if you see any of them, or if you've got any friends that don't want them anymore, trade for them, because it's going to be well worth it. So then we come on to upgrade sprues and transfers. And I believe this is going to be a single bundle where you get the upgrade sprue and the transfers, which is kind of neat, because they don't often ever sell these transfers. Like, you can never, for years now, we've not been able to buy transfers. And I think if we look at this is quite an interesting transfer sheet. Can I blow this up to be a little bit bigger? I think so. So we've got sort of standard intercessor or standard battle line shoulder pads here. We have these white ones with the blood drops. They would work very well on Death Company. We have a good number of gold ones for veterans. We have a good number of bigger ones that would work on tanks. These ones look like they would be fit like an old tank or a dreadnought. We maybe have some 3 blood drops would work well on a Death Company dreadnought. Some of these bigger white ones as well work good on Death Company. So there's some of these ones I've not seen before, right? This one was the one that was in the new Blood Angels box, and a lot of people highlighted, like, what is this? This is a ram's head on top of wings. And when I first saw it, I didn't have a clue what it was. But if you think of librarians often have this, like, ram's head on like built into a shoulder pad or something. So this is something to do with Librarius. Someone will correct me in the comments, but I think this is cool. These Blood Angels wings with the iron halos on top, I don't think we've ever seen those before. I did buy the Forge World transfer sheet before. So this is good. This is a really good transfer sheet. We've got some little potential knee pad ones here. We have the company markings, you know, all the various ones. We have campaign badges down here at the very bottom. We have the chapter numbers here as well, which sometimes can get used on more commonly on vehicles. But yeah, I mean, I think I like this transfer sheet a lot. I guess it comes with upgrade sprue. While I like the transfer sheet, I do not like the upgrade sprue because I think the upgrade sprue has... This was the upgrade sprue that was packaged with the Death Company box, and in fact there is no Death Company upgrades on the sprue, and I think that was the problem. As a generic Blood Angel sprue, I suppose it's not too bad. You get a lot of the shoulder pads for the various sizes. You've got Terminator shoulder pads, you've got Gravis, you've got Tacticus. So you've got a good variant. I think some of these could go on Blade Guard as well. I think you've got a good variant. The one thing that I would say is, like, I'm not sure why we're getting more power swords and chain swords. Like, Terminators come with a power sword. Every character that you need a power sword on probably comes with a power sword. Every character you need a chain sword comes with a chain sword. But in the new Death Company box, we didn't get enough power fists if you want to build your Death Company with all power fists. So some of these weapons should have been power fists, I feel like. I guess we only get one Infernal Pistol now in the Death Company as well, so here it is on the sprue. This is actually the Eviscerator, and I believe it comes with like 2 little arm pieces, so you can make the two-handed Eviscerator. So the upgrade sprue is okay. The transfer sheet is pretty awesome. You are still going to... If you did buy that Fear of Missing Out box and you're trying to make your Death Company with as many Power Fists as you can, you only get 4 Power Fists in the box. You can actually make the models that come in the box with 5 Power Fists, so you have to magically find a Power Fist, which isn't great. I really just... And every model that ever needed a chainsword for Blood Angels already came with a chainsword, so I don't really understand this, but this is what is on the upgrade sprue. So you can give your Blood Angels the proper livery with this theme of upgrades, packing in 66 pieces alongside 225 transfers. This box contains 27 shoulder pads across the various unit types, 19 cosmetic accessories for infantry and vehicles, 5 heads, an Eviscerator for the Death Company, weapon and head options for Death Company, Death Company Sergeant, alternate chest piece, and a Terminator Sergeant. So it's an okay upgrade sprue. We then have the data cards and the dice. Kind of cool looking dice, I must admit. The dice are getting a bit pricey though. I think this is 12. Is this 12 or 16 dice? It says 16. So you're probably like 125. I guess if you were in America, you're probably almost $2 per dice now. So I mean, they are cool. They are some translucent red Blood Angels dice. We haven't seen these before. We've seen the red and black. We've seen the gold and black. Last edition, it was gold and black for the Sanguinary Guard. This edition, it's red and black. You know what? We've seen ones like that, very similar in Horus Heresy. The data cards that came with the Fear of Missing Out box are very nice. So the data cards are handy. I'm not necessarily sure you need the data cards. I use the GW app now. The app is very quick to search. There's that new battle button in the app, so you can just instantly see all the units in your army. Once you've played a bunch of games, I feel like you probably don't need the data cards, but if you want to have them, they can be handy. So no army is complete without an accompanying set of data cards. Each pack of data cards contains all special rules to fuel your specialist Blood Angel units, while the 16 red gem-like dice are adorned with golden pips and the chapter icon on the 6. That's funny, because on my dice, I believe the chapter icon is the 1. Makes more sense to have it on the 6. So this is what is coming for pre-order, and I've got all the prices to look at in just a second. All these pre-orders are going live on the 5th. So Saturday the 5th at like 10 AM is when you'll be able to pre-order. And they will release 2 weeks later. So there's a 2-week window. Most of the stuff, I imagine, you don't need to be ready at 10 AM on Saturday morning, unless you want that limited edition Codex, right? I think probably you'll be pretty safe to order most of the other stuff. It took them like a week or 2 to actually sell out, maybe even longer here in the UK, maybe even like 3 weeks to sell out the big, massive Death Company box. So they obviously, they know Blood Angels are one of the most popular factions. They've put a lot of work into making sure that their stock levels are good. So let's talk about, and I've got a slide here to jump into. Oh, it's in that tab. Sorry, excuse me. So here is my slide for the cost of stuff. So I've got a US price and a UK price. So your Codex is 20 and it's 35 US. I think I bought the limited edition Codex last time. It was 30. It might be 35 this time. So expect to pay another 10 or 15 bucks for the limited edition Codex. Like I said, unless there's a real good reason you're collecting them, I'm not entirely sure it's worth the extra money. The upgrade sprue and transfers are $21.50 and $35. I mean, here's the thing: you might pay $20 anyway for the Forge World transfer sheet. I mean, the Forge World transfer sheet isn't a whole A4 sheet, but there's a lot of Forge World bits you can't really use. So I think the upgrade sprue and transfer is very fairly priced. We never ever get the option to buy these transfers, and I've been asking for this for probably as long as my channel has lived. So for 4 years, I've been asking to be able to buy transfer sheets. So I think this is great. I think $21.50, including the upgrade sprue, totally fine. Buy that. Like I said, the dice are getting a little pricey for what dice are, but I mean, they're cool dice. If you don't have dice and you want Blood Angels themed ones, grab the dice. Unit cards are $20, $50, or $35. Then all your characters are kicking in around the 25 UK, slightly more, because I guess some of these characters are creeping up in size. Like, if you go onto Games Workshop website, a Captain is $26. Astaroth's obviously a bit bigger than a Captain. The Sanguinary is a bit bigger than a Captain. I mean, Lamarta's about the same size, but you're about $25 now for a Captain, and you can see the prices here for the American. The Sanguinary Priest, I'm not sure how competitive he's going to be, so I'm going to leave him for now. I'm not going to buy the Sanguinary Priest. Actually, I have two firstborn Sanguinary Priests, both with jump packs. I guess I should rip the jump pack off one of them because and convert one of them to, Sanguinary Priest on foot, I guess. The Sanguinary Guard are going to cost the same as what 3 Blade Guard costs. So 3 Blade Guard costs $37.50. And bear in mind, I don't know if these prices are 100% final. These are best guess prices from other information that I've seen online today. The pre-order was only announced yesterday, so some of these prices might fluctuate, but this should give you a good example. They should be like 95% accurate, full disclaimer, right? So Blade Guard cost $37.50, Sanguinary Guard are going to cost $37.50, they're going to cost $47.50 in the US. And then the one thing that's obviously missing here, and it's a big miss, I guess, is the Combat Patrol. And the Combat Patrols usually cost 100 UK pounds or $168. The Combat Patrol was going to be the Blood Angels Captain, 6 Sanguinary Guard, 10 Assault Intercessors, and the upgrade sprue. I'm not entirely sure if they mentioned if the Combat Patrol would have transfers in it. This video is going to be a premiere, so you guys can discuss this in the chat while this is going. But regardless, even if it doesn't include the transfers, you are saving about $60 compared to buying these individually in the UK, and you're saving $50 in the US. And because you're paying 100 here, 10 Assault Intercessors cost 40, and you're paying 168 here, and 10 Assault Intercessors cost 62. So arguably you could just sell your Assault Intercessors maybe for 75% of the cost and get your Combat Patrol for 70, and then do the same, sell your Assault Intercessor over here for like 50. Because I checked, basically, yesterday in the UK, you could buy 10 Assault Intercessors on eBay for like 35. So you could take 35% off this. Maybe, I don't know what the US prices are, but you could definitely take about a third off this if you don't need 10 more Assault Intercessors. I somehow, in my last video, I have 60 Assault Intercessors. I can't understand why I've got so many. But I do. So I'll be selling, if I was going to buy the Combat Patrol, I'll be selling mine. And I actually think I am going to buy the Combat Patrol because I want the new Blood Angels Captain, and I want the new Sanguinary Priest. And I do not necessarily want the upgrade sprue, but I do want the transfers. So I guess that's the make or break point. So you guys in the chat right now, you think we're going to get transfers in the Combat Patrol? What's it been like for other armies? Black Templars had a Combat Patrol. Dark Angels had a Combat Patrol. Did that include a transfer sheet in it? Because I'm in no rush, I feel like, to jump out and pre-order Sanguinary Guard or the Captain. I already have a firstborn Captain with a plasma pistol and a power fist. The only thing I'd really be swapping out is losing the plasma pistol for an infernal pistol, and I feel like those things are two very small changes, right? So yeah, it's an interesting one that the Combat Patrol is not on yet. I'm gonna take the stance of, I guess they didn't have the Combat Patrol ready, rather than they're trying to sell all this stuff to us more expensive and then sell the Combat Patrol after. I think I already have the Codex. I already have a bunch of Blood Angels dice. I think I might wait for the Combat Patrol to get the new Sanguinary Guard. But I mean, you guys are going to have to decide. There's no news as of today of when the Combat Patrol is out. I asked on Twitter, I asked on Facebook, but I did see a few places where like local GW stores have answered and said, no, the Combat Patrol is not coming out on the pre-order this Friday. So if the Combat Patrol was something you were looking forward to, then I guess you were waiting, and we don't have any information. I would think it would be here by Christmas, but again, talk about it in chat. So if you are going to buy any of the stuff, even though I've just basically said you need to be smart with what you're spending, I mean, if you add all this stuff together, quite a lot of Blood Angel stuff to be bought this month, isn't there? If you are going to buy this stuff, remember there is a UK and a US affiliate now. In the video description you'll have links. If you follow the links, you support the channel. I do really appreciate anyone that considers doing that. So yeah, and I know in the UK, Element Games will give you 15 or 20% off all of these prices. That's why I use Element Games for literally all my purchases. I got my Fear of Missing Out box on day one, same as everybody else, from all ordering from Element Games. And for that box, I think that box was like 150, and I think on Element you paid 116. So it's a significant saving. Or maybe it was 145, that would make sense. And they took 20% off of it, which was £29. Yeah. So, you know, if you're spending £145 and you're getting 29 off of it, 20% saving is quite a lot of money. So if you could take, you know, if you're buying 2 Swords of Sanguinary for 75, if you go to Element, you might be able to get them for 60. You know, it's a big saving. So consider using the links. You'll save yourself some money. You'll support the channel. And that is about it for this week. Well, not this week. That's just the preview video. So I don't think there's anything else to say. Wednesday night, I'm going to be playing against Nurgle Demons. Friday, we're going to do the video about the Lost Detachment. And then we'll see you guys for the Army List show later in the week. If you are new to the Blood Angels Commander channel, do please consider subscribing. Like the video, share it with a friend, you know, all that jazz. And I see a lot of people say that they keep missing my live streams. Like I keep seeing people say that they miss out when I go live, or they miss one of my videos. What you need to do is, where you are subscribed here on YouTube, click the little thing and change this notification to say all. If you don't have it set to all, if it's set to personalized or none, it means you don't get a pop-up when I go live or when I release a new video. And I mean, you can ignore the pop-up, right? So it's best to just set it to all, and then your phone will tell you when I've gone live with a new video. If you don't want to watch it, by all means, don't watch it. But yeah, have a great week, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you all very soon. By the blood, are we made strong? Peace.